Slower than normal commute this hour. This is a live shot of the slush-covered Queensway, where many drivers are reducing their speed. Environment Canada's snowfall warning holding steady over the region. Good afternoon. This is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Drivers are being warned to exercise caution behind the wheel this hour. We're still nearly 2 weeks away from the official start of winter, but it doesn't feel that way. And keep in mind, a winter parking ban is in effect tonight. CTV's Austin Lee joins us outside, and the snow has been steadily falling downtown for quite some time now, Austin.
Yeah, that's right, Stefan. This isn't dandruff up here. The snow is still falling, I promise you that. And by the time it's all said and done, we're expecting about 20 centimeters, up to 20 centimeters of snow, I should say, as an Alberta Clipper makes its way through and hovers over eastern Ontario. School buses here in Ottawa were operating as normal today, but the snow did force other school boards in our region to call off bus service. Schools in Arnprior, Brockville, Carleton Place, Almont, and more, all without running buses. The City of Ottawa issuing an overnight winter weather parking ban in effect from 7 p.m. until 7 a.m. Only vehicles with on-street parking permits are allowed to park on the streets as crews do what they can to improve traction for drivers.
We do encourage you to make alternate parking arrangements for your vehicles. If they are still on the road during the ban, you do risk getting ticketed by our bylaw services, and it will impact how fast we can get through our maintenance beats on our residential streets. We're focused on our priority roads, priority sidewalks, as well as our winter cycling network. So that's the main focus right now.
Now, plenty of people that we spoke to today say they actually welcome the snow. They love to see it coming down. Plus, for those hoping to see a white Christmas, a climatologist with Environment and Climate Change Canada tells me that you likely will see a white Christmas. He sees very little chance that this snow won't be sticking around until at least January. Stefan. All
right, CTV's Austin Lee reporting for us. Thank you, Austin. Turning to City Hall, where a marathon meeting is happening as we speak. The main thing on the agenda is green-lighting the draft budget. But we can let you know that the transit budget passed a short time ago, and the police budget has been given the rubber stamp of approval as well. Council voted 20-5 in favor of the $484 million 2026 police budget, which includes a $26 million increase in funding. Councillors Sean Maynard, Lane Johnson, Ariel Troster, Jessica Bradley, and Ralston King voted against the police budget. For the average homeowner, it's an increase of $36 for police service next year.
But we do have a large piece of that pie based on, the small size of Anchor right now. But we're working with them. It's not us versus them. So don't put a wedge between us, because it doesn't exist in reality. That's just in theory. Some would like to do that. We are working with them.
And moments ago, councillors also voted yes to the transit budget, which comes with an increase in transit fares.
Mayor Sutcliffe.
Yes.
19 yeas, 5 nays, with 4 dissents on 1-1.
The vote came with motions including making fares free for those 18 and under on weekends and public holidays starting on July 1st, as well as changing the frequency of Line 1 to every 6 minutes on weekdays between 9 in the morning and 3 in the afternoon, and to 7.5 minutes between 6 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Transit riders will face a 2.5% increase, meaning the cost of an adult monthly pass is now $138.50. It's unclear how late the meeting will go, but we will have the very latest at 6 p.m. right here on CTV, on News Talk Radio 580 CFRA, and our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. In other news, Ottawa police are now offering a $75,000 reward to anyone that has information that may help solve a murder case. Corey Baldwin was reported missing in December of 2019, with investigators now believing the father of 2 was murdered. Baldwin, who would be 48 years old today, resided in Ottawa's southeast. He disappeared in April 2019, and his last known whereabouts were in Montreal. It is believed he was also in British Columbia. But at this time, police say they have no suspects in the case.
Part of the reason we're offering the $75,000 is we know there's people out there. We know there's people in the Montreal area. We know there's people possibly in British Columbia, in the Ottawa area, that have information on Corey's last moments prior to being murdered.
It has been 1 year since the homicide unit took over the case and several months since it has been deemed a murder. Investigators say they have noticed a decrease in people coming forward with information and believe cash rewards can be a motivating factor. But despite this, Ottawa police say it has never paid out a cash reward. A Chinatown business owner says he no longer feels safe in the store his family has been running for decades, and it comes as local officials file a formal complaint over a safer supply clinic in the area. It's where patients recovering from drug abuse receive prescribed alternatives to street drugs. CTV's Caitlin Wilson joins us now with more on this. Caitlin.
Yes, and residents and business owners in the area say safety issues have been growing ever since New Dawn Medical, a safer supply clinic, took over the former Northwood recovery site in June. And for Trung Tang, the owner of a grocery store in the area, he says theft, homelessness, and open drug use has become part of his daily life. Now the concerns have reached Ontario's medical regulator. In a formal complaint sent Monday, MPP Catherine McKenney and area councillor Arnold Troster are calling on the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Ontario to investigate the clinic's prescribing volume and concerns that some of those pills are ending up on the street, along with broader oversight issues. The letter also cites brief virtual appointments and limited monitoring of patients.
We are both advocating for injectable opiate agonist treatment, something that could be prescribed and administered on site. There are other clinics that are doing this better, that are doing it more responsibly, that are removing people from the program if they're caught diverting drugs. But this clinic doesn't seem to be responsible or accountable to the community, and enough is enough.
In a statement, New Dawn says its goal is to help patients get off street drugs, reduce overdoses, and save lives. Adding safety is a priority. We are confident in our clinic's protocols and procedures, and physicians at our clinics do a combination of virtual and in-person care. The College of Physicians and Surgeons confirmed that it received the letter, saying the college takes complaints seriously. Stefan?
All right, thank you for this update. CTV's Caitlin Wilson reporting live for us. As Canadians prepare for the new year, many are feeling the strain of the rising cost of living. A new Nanos research survey finds grocery prices are the top financial concern, followed by personal debt and housing costs. Locally, shoppers say high food prices are changing how they buy groceries and meals for their families.
I used to be able to get 6 bags of groceries for $200, you know?
Because it is the holidays, we're going to try and cook a lot. And then we really do need to freeze it and save it afterwards. So hopefully we're still eating our Christmas dinners at the end of January, but we're pulling them out of the freezer and they're still tasting yummy.
Ottawa residents say careful budgeting will be key in the months ahead. And sticking with the economy, the Bank of Canada is keeping its key policy rate at 2.5%. The central bank noting this morning that the Canadian economy grew at a surprisingly strong 2.6% in the third quarter, even in the face of flat domestic demand. The bank expects final domestic demand to grow in the fourth quarter, but is expecting a decline in net exports. It's also forecasting ongoing economic slack to roughly offset cost pressures associated with the reconfiguration of trade, adding that should keep inflation close to the bank's 2% target. A new medication to treat postpartum depression has been approved by Health Canada. Zuranolone, a pill sold under the brand name Zurave, is now authorized in Canada to relieve symptoms of moderate or severe depression after childbirth. The drug's developer says Zuranolone should be taken once a day for 2 weeks. It will be available in Canada early next year, but governments and insurers still need to determine coverage. The drug has also been authorized in the U.S. and Europe. Coming up on CTV News at 5, anyone under 16 in Australia is now banned from using social media. We'll explain what it means and why other countries could be following suit. And our Jackie Perez is out live in the East End at the Place d'Orleans Toy Mountain tonight, Jackie.
Yes, Stefan, and I'm hearing that the RCMP is coming with mountains and mountains of toys that will fill Place d'Orleans with new unwrapped toys in time for Christmas. Those details in a little bit, but can we talk about the snow that we received today? Environment Canada calling for up to 20 centimeters. The snow steadily continuing to move through the region, and it has prompted the snowfall warning still in effect for here in eastern Ontario. Ottawa, we could see an additional 3 to 5 centimeters into the evening. Overnight temperatures, it's going to be about -9. Wind chill feeling more like -16. And then tomorrow, daytime high about -9. The flurries will linger with about 2 to 4 centimeters, adding to our snowfall totals. We'll have these details and a look at your long-term forecast in just a bit. Stefan.
Thank you, Jackie. Here's what you need to know. The Ottawa Carleton Choristers present Tidings We Treasure, celebrating the season in song this Friday at the Woodruff United Church. The performance starts at 7:30 p.m. Admission is by donation, and the concert will also be live streamed online. A live check on traffic right now. We know that drivers are going slowly because of the slush-covered roads on the Queensway. We're seeing less vehicles on the road, perhaps taking a snow day, but there were backups around the Woodruff area. So there you can see it in the eastbound lanes. This hour, you're watching CTV News at 5. The Bell Media building is lit up bigger and brighter this year thanks to our friends at Christmas Decor from Nutrilon. Australia's social media ban is now in effect, meaning anyone under 16 will be heavily restricted online. Companies will face steep fines if they don't take reasonable steps to prevent youth from accessing their platforms. The ban includes Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and X, with exemptions for sites like YouTube Kids, Google Classroom, and WhatsApp. Today's radio question of the day is asking, should social media be banned for kids under 16?
Parent, I have a 10-year-old, like there was a point that I couldn't take it anymore. I mean, this is becoming so ingrained in the system. This is in our schools, this is in our homes, and the streets. You can turn around and see just everybody looking at their phones. You can see even us parents doing that. So it's time to change the norm.
Christy Cameron is here with more. And Christy, we know there are a lot of opinions out there on this, from parents to educators to children themselves. What are your thoughts?
Well, I'd say my own personal opinion on this has changed a lot. Originally, when we encountered this debate, Steph, I would always say, leave it to parents. I don't love when the state or the government is instructive of parents and starts lecturing them on what to do. But then, we've had a mounting body of evidence over time that this is terrible for kids. I mean, it's terrible for you and I as adults.
Right.
We get caught in this addictive dopamine loop. We don't know how to put the social media down. So maybe it is time for governments to intervene. Australia is doing it. And I think I'm finally convinced now, if we're regulating when kids can drink, when teenagers can drink in Ontario, that's 19. When they can drive, that's 16. When they can gamble, when they can join the military, why not regulate social media use as well? And our understanding is that other countries are watching this very closely. Australia is leading the way, but we could see this pop up elsewhere. Definitely. I mean, the weakest point in this, and this is where I become a little bit more cynical as usual, is that it's hard to enforce. Social media platforms have been promising for years now to do better, and they haven't. So it's time now for governments to step it up. The question is, how easily can kids circumvent this? Like a lot of kids, they get the big brother to go to the liquor store and buy the beer for them. Don't do that. It's illegal. They don't do that. It's illegal, right? But they'll find workarounds, unfortunately. Doesn't mean we can't try. That's right. Thank you, Christy. You can join the conversation and leave a comment through the Talkback feature on the iHeartRadio app, and you can listen live to Christy Cameron on News Talk 580 CFRA weekdays from 2 to 6. Coming up on CTV News at 5, the Sens lose the game but win big on the phone lines. We'll have the fundraising total from the Ignite Hope Telethon a little later. Stay with us. Coming up tonight on CTV after the news, the floor starts at 7, followed by Shifting Gears at 8. 2 episodes of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, and then you can watch The Amazing Race at 9:30. Now for another check on the weather forecast, let's go back to Jackie Paris, who is live at Place d'Orleans at the Toy Mountain for us tonight. Jackie.
Thanks so much, Savannah. A couple of mall goers have passed by me and they're like, I blame you for this snow, Jackie, but how long is this going to last for? The good news is that it's going to start to taper off as we get into the overnight and early evening, but it will linger the flurries. Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Skycam showcasing downtown Ottawa. It is currently -5 here in the capital. And as we look at watches and warnings, the snowfall warning is still in effect. So we did anticipate for here on our Wednesday between 15 to 20 centimeters of snow. We could see between 3 to 5 centimeters into the early evening. And this gives you an idea of what we can be when you wake up tomorrow morning. It's going to be light flurries, maybe parts of Kingston as well as Brockville could see more clouds as opposed to the snowfall. So maybe in the clear, but for the most part, we could see it flurries going in and out throughout our Thursday. Now, Friday, that's when we will likely see more sunshine and a mix of sun and cloud and drier conditions. So here's a closer look at temperatures going down to about -5. So we've had some mild temperatures for this evening. It's going to start getting chillier as we get to the end of the week. -9 really throughout our Thursday. And those wind gusts, though, it's going to be wind gusts of up to 50 kilometers per hour. So it's going to be quite gusty. So layer up, it's going to be chillier than that -9. And when we look to our friends at the Valley, overnight lows -14, -10 is going to be the daytime high for our Thursday. And as we look to our friends in the Seaway, lots of sunshine there. -7 is the anticipated daytime high. A closer look at our 5-day forecast now. -9, a few flurries for our Thursday here in Ottawa. Friday, mix of sun and cloud, -6. But then you'll notice that the overnight lows back to those minus double digits. Saturday, fair weather, but -5 the daytime high with a chance of flurries. But then it's going to be about -10 as we look towards the start of the early work week. Well, that's it from us here for now at Place d'Orleans as we continue to help build a toy mountain. I've got some wonderful dancers here from Arise Academy. Tune in to the 6 o'clock hour because they might even put on a little bit of a performance and so much more. Stefan.
I'll be watching. Thank you, Jackie. Here's a look at the stories you're checking out right now on CTV News Ottawa.ca. A lot of people right now on our homepage are clicking on this article, the fact that there's an ongoing debate about the 2026 budget down at City Hall. We've let you know they've approved the police budget. The transit budget has also been rubber stamped as well. And just a reminder, all of the details of the budget and what's at stake is on our website, ctvnewsottawa.ca. Property taxes are set to go up 3.75%. Coming up for us here on CTV News at 5.
It's their voice they need to keep. They need to save their voice.
A devastating blow to the University of Ottawa's campus radio station. Why they are preparing to go silent after 50 years on the air, and students are protesting. Here's what you need to know. The 613 Holiday Night Market is happening this Friday inside the Aberdeen Pavilion at Lansdowne. You can also take in the Ottawa Christmas Market outside. The event runs from 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Admission is free. If you need gas tonight, one of today's cheapest gas prices can be found at the Petro-Canada station on Carling Avenue in the Nepean area. Regular gas there tonight is listed at 118.9 cents a liter. Here's another live check on traffic. Not too many vehicles on the road, but those that are moving fairly slowly, reducing their speeds by about 20% because of worsening road conditions. Again, the snowfall warning is still in effect. You're watching CTV News at 5.
Get the latest live local breaking news. Sign up now for our morning and evening CTV News Ottawa newsletter. The best local content from CTV News, Your Morning Ottawa, and News Talk 580 CFRA. Get it all in one place. Sign up now at ctvnewsottawa.ca. The CTV News Ottawa newsletter is brought to you in part by CAA Business.
Here's a live look through our Centennial Glass Sky Cam, a snowy capital. The current temperature, -5. Time now for a look ahead to CTV News at 6. Here's Patricia Bull.
Thanks, Steph. Here's what we're working on for 6 o'clock.
We're focused on our priority roads, priority sidewalks, as well as our winter cycling network.
A snowfall warning continues for the capital with up to 20 centimeters of snow expected by tomorrow morning.
This clinic doesn't seem to be responsible or accountable to the community.
Local officials file a formal complaint over a safe supply clinic in the Chinatown area as people who live and work in the area say safety issues are growing with the clinic at the center of their concerns.
Why don't we just sell it off and use those profits, give it to food banks on behalf of all Ontarians? I think that's something all Ontarians would like.
The Ontario Liberals are calling on the Ford government to sell millions of dollars worth of U.S. liquor pulled off the shelves earlier this year so they can sell it for a good cause. All of that and more is coming up tonight on CTV News at 6. That's right after the early edition of CTV National News with Sandy Ronaldo at 5:30. Steph.
Thank you, Patricia. Now the final 5 other stories we're following today. After 5 decades on the air, the University of Ottawa's campus radio station is preparing to shut down.
We represent underrepresented voice. We represent the community that haven't been heard anywhere else.
The station manager at CHUO 89.1 FM says next Monday will be the station's final day of live radio. The station was trying to raise $150,000 to stay open, but its board of directors decided to put an end to that campaign. The station has been operating since 1975. A new survey shows that some parents are already feeling the holiday shopping stress. An Interact survey found 3/4 of Canadian parents said that creating a magical holiday for their kids is a top priority. But 2/3 say rising costs are making it harder for them to manage their holiday spending. 1 in 5 say they're relying on grandparents to help them provide that holiday cheer. 1/3 of parents say their grandparents spend more on gifts for their kids than they do. It's the last call to get a piece of the $500 million settlement in a bread price fixing class action lawsuit. Loblaw and its parent company, George Weston Limited, are accused of engaging in industry-wide price fixing for bread. Canadians have until this Friday to submit an online claim if they bought packaged bread between January 2001 and December 2021 and did not previously accept a gift card from Loblaw. No proof of purchase is needed. Those who file a claim will get up to $25 within 6 to 12 months.
Sanderson has a look and fires. Tip puck Markstrom save loose in front. They score!
Drake Batherson scoring the first goal of the game at the Canadian Tire Centre last night, giving the Sens the lead in the first period. But it was not enough. He scored another that was taken off the board for kicking. In the end, the Sens lost 4-3 to New Jersey. The team has lost 5 of their last 6 games. The Sens are now on the road. They take on the Columbus Blue Jackets tomorrow night. While it wasn't a win on the ice, the Sens Community Foundation did make a big impact off the ice last night. Phones were lighting up throughout the game as people called to make donations to the Sens Ignite Hope Telethon, which supports several charities in our region. The telethon has raised more than $168,000. That is CTV News at 5. I'm Stefan Keys. Be sure to join Patricia Bull for CTV News at 6. The early edition of CTV National starts now.